Hey everybody, OldBayCraps, welcome back to the table. This is OBC DI practice session number 14, the last day of week 2. So tomorrow we will start with session number 15, week 3. All in preparation of the show coming on the 19th of March, next Tuesday I believe. So we will have 3 weeks of rolling practice in place for the next discussion of what's going on with the toss. So session 14 tonight, we're going to be doing the third and final night of throwing the dice underhand from as close to the rail as possible, which is right here. Tomorrow through Thursday, we will then do 3 nights of doing as close to the stick as possible. So it's actually moving this toss up about another 2 feet. So it'll be a very short distance toss. So we're going to have to, again, figure out what works, and try not to get frustrated. I think over the course of the last 2 nights, we kind of figured out this particular toss. We now know that we have to do we're going to do the same grip we've been doing on all 3, from here, here, and here. But this time, instead of the 2, we really need to throw the dice and have them land on the word field. So right in the middle of the field. That's going to give them enough time to wind down and gently hit the wall and come back. So let's see if we're successful. We got everything in place. Let me give it some additional light on the throwing area. There we go. And without further ado, let's get started. I know you noticed I'm dressed up today. I had to go downtown for my job, so I had to look good. Here we go. So I threw it beyond the word field. It's going to be a 2-1-3 come out roll. See if we can get a box number and hit our landing site. So we're on our toes, so my arm can relax a little bit more. Throwing from the deck. There we go. There's a 5-3-8. That one landed just short of the word field, so about the 1/3 mark of the field area itself. And it's going to be a 5-3-8. 8's going to be the point. If you'd like to play along, I'm doing it in the tracker. There's a 4-1-5. Again, I'm just going to grab it using the stick if it's further away than my arm length. There's a double D-Gin, hard 6. Click like and subscribe to Dice D-Gin. He's doing the March Madness tournament right now on his channel. It's a great tournament. I did not last very long. That doesn't mean others who maybe didn't do well last year aren't going to be awesome this year. They went off to the right. It's going to be a 5-1-6. Not what we're looking for. That's out of my reach. Let's bring the dice over here. Be a 3-1-4. The blue die kind of dug into the table, so I must have hit it right on the corner. first ever tossing in work clothes. There's a 415. And this whole time, through this whole journey, I'm making mental notes, you know, of where I'm tossing, how much energy I have to give it, where it has to land. What's advantageous about that, let me do this one first. And the blue die just kind of died right there. 2x4, easy 6. What's advantageous about throwing from 3 different positions, knowing how to throw it from 3 different positions, and what I mean by that, I mean throwing it from here, here, and here. That's great if you have people that have chips down at the other end, and if you stick to just one spot and they've got chips, well, you now know 3 different areas you can throw it, and it's 3 completely different tosses, if you will. There's a 2-3-5. So right now we're nailing some 5s and 6s. I think I did that the other night. We had a string of 11 rolls, all 5s and 6s. Crazy. I know there might be a delay on the landing zone cam. Sorry about that. I don't know why it does that. There's a 6-2-8. I know the first 2 nights of doing this, it was in the beginning of each session, we were getting really frustrated. But we hadn't figured out the toss yet. Now we kind of figured out how to do that toss. Now that wasn't a great roll right there, but we got a forgiving outcome. 6-3-9. Oh, we made the point of 8 earlier. So throughout this whole journey, this toss has helped me make more points. It's helped me make more repeaters. And I've actually hit the small, tall, and the all a couple of times. There's a 4-3-7. The reason that happened was because the blue die hit the wall again, because my alligator wall only goes about a foot out. After that, it's just plain wall. Normally in a casino, you're going to have, this is going to go all the way to where the chip stacks are. So it'll have a different outcome. Did I put that 7 in? I did. Okay, so the first roll was a quality roll. So they kissed when they hit. It's going to be a come out 7, 4-3. That's where we want our 7s. Again, they don't ruin the fire bet, but they do have to reset the ATS. Those dice split in my hand before they even landed. It's going to be a 4-1-5. 5 is going to be the point. Let's see if we can keep the dice tight and hit the same landing zone. So they stayed together. They bounced a little bit awkwardly off the wall. It's going to be a 2-6-8, easy. So far tonight, we've only had one, I believe one roll where the dice scattered. Maybe 2. Now what it just did, I don't consider that a large scatter. They still scattered a little bit, but I think it still had the right energy. There we go. I believe that's exactly what they want. Gargoyle and Ed. They want it to travel together, right down the lane, hit the wall, and just stop. Those two stop within an inch of the wall. That's what you have to master. If you can master that, you're going to leave some dust bunnies at the casino pit. There's a 5-2-7 out. So that was very close to a PSO. We had a horn number in there. Again, we're doing the 5-4-5-4 hardway set, so we're not really working on a specific set for my toss. We're just using a hardway toss to see how the dice react. There's a 3-6-9. 9's going to be the point. There's a 3-1-4. There's a heart 8. There's a 3-1-4. Again, I'm excited about this toss and hitting repeaters. And no, I have not been to an actual casino yet to try this out. I've had a lot of family ongoings. So that one had too little energy. It actually hit between the 11 and the 12 on the field. And the blue die just died. I don't even think the red die made it to the wall. You know what? I picked up the dice too fast. I don't even know what it was. I'm not going to try to guess what it was. I don't know what it was. I have no way of rolling this back. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what the die was that rolled. For the sake of argument, I don't want to put in the wrong toss because I'm entering these into Bone Tracker. And when talking to Ed, he said if you have a really crappy roll, it's not really indicative of the toss. You just sometimes need to ixnay on a roll A, on an O-ray. So we're going to call a mulligan on that one. There's a midnight. Send your emails to OldBayCraps@gmail.com if you have a complaint. I'm more than happy to give you an honest answer back. Back-to-back 12 midnights. If you parlayed it, that was a good one. There's aces. And I believe it's kind of verified with my toss that If the toss is errant and it's aces, you'll never see like the proper toss with aces. I'll always get aces by a toss that wasn't supposed to do what it did. Probably the reason why dice setters who don't change their sets to chase ATS numbers wind up hitting the ATS, because there's always an errant throw that worked in their favor. Oh, that was a 5-2-7 until the red die came off and hit the blue die and changed from a 5 to a 3. There's a 2-3-5. Wow. Wow. That was a 5-2-7 all the way until that red die hit the blue die and completely changed. There's a OldBay bushel, heart 10. There's a 2-6-8. So the blue die hit the chip stacks and ricocheted off and stopped right here. It's going to be a 2-1-3. So earlier when I forgot to read the dice and couldn't come up with the set and just mulliganed myself, consider that the same thing as when you're doing Crapsy and any kind of host accidentally puts in the wrong number in Crapsy. There's a 5-1-6. So even though that's going to be the small, I have no idea what that that throw was. There's a 3-6-9, so that's the, yep, that's the 3-6-9. That had little to no energy whatsoever. We lucked out with a heart 6. I think that's a 5-6 yo. That's going to be the all. Again, I have no idea what that one roll was, so take it for what it is. I'm not even going to boast about hitting the all because I have no idea what that one dice hit was. So I can't feel proud about it. There's a 4-5-9. Again, the blue die hit off the naked part of the wall. That was a 3. 3-5-8. So I don't consider that a great toss. Remember, you can have a crappy toss, but a good result doesn't mean it was a good toss. There's the equalizer. The 5-2, 7 out. The great equalizer. All right, that's roll number 37. This is a come out roll. There's a 3-1-4. 4 is going to be the point. We're coming up on 40 rolls. So the red die, I felt it a little push on my index finger. That's why I went off to the right. It's going to be a 4-1-5. I realize I'm in a sweater and it's going to get hot. I like the way they traveled. They bounced back way too far. So they had too much energy. 4-6-10. Again, that blue die hit the naked part of the wall and ricocheted. It's going to be a 6-1-7. Errant toss. This next roll, which is shooter number... This is shooter number 5. No, that was shooter number 5. This is shooter number 6. We're going to do the entire shooter as Sean Connery. Dice out. Got a 3-6-9. 9 will be the point. Another 9, 4-5. Hit the repeater. Dice went off to the right. It's going to be a 3-2-5. The sister number. I like the way they traveled, not the way they landed. 2-6-8. And that's the way you throw a 7 out. 2-5. Dice hit the naked part of the wall. You think I feel better or worse? All right, I want to thank Sean Connery for stopping by. Thank you, Sean. I'll take over from here. Oh, I like that one. It's a hard 4. And that's just what the doctor ordered. That was a lot of energy. 639. Way too much energy. You're lucky it's a 639. And not big red. Yeah, I was checking to see if I put it in the tracker. A little too much energy. 268. Let's try with a little bit less energy. That was a little better, but they split. 527. Ouch. Let's see if we can get a good roll going. See, the problem right now is every day is different, and we can't consider it a really great toss until every day is consistently better. We're seeing some glimpses, that's about it. 415, the blue die hit the hook and spun around. It's not easy, folks, getting your dice to go straight. And a lot of that has to do with your grip, I believe. How they leave your fingers. There's a 358. That looked like it went in slow motion. At first it looked like the red die was going to go away from the blue die, but it came back like a boomerang. A little too much energy. It's going to be a midnight. There's been one or two people that have given me thumbs down on some of these videos. I don't mind if you do that. Just do one or two things. One, hit it twice. Or two, leave a comment why you didn't like it. I'd like to know. You never know, it may help me. No one's going to judge you for giving a dislike, but it would be helpful to know why. I like that. Going to be a 369. Oh, we made the point of 5. All right. New point. Point is 9. Let's see if we can throw a 549. Nope, it's going to be a 628. That's all right because it's another box hit. That's the other thing. Are you able to get some box hits strung together? That's important. Or, you know, if you have a long roll, is it just, you know, every other number is a good box hit and the rest of them are horns? I wouldn't really say that's consistent. We want consistent box hits. There's a 5-6 mid-mo yo. There you go. I like the way they died. 538. That was a weird one. The blue die shot down here and shot back 1.5 feet, and the red die hit the end of the alligator wall and stopped. It's going to be a 3-2-5. So right now, if you're playing the ATS, you want to lay the 10. There's aces. That helps the cause. That was probably the best looking aces up front out of all the sessions. They actually went down the lane the way I wanted them to. There's a 5-1 mixer. Click that like and subscribe on Sideshow Gamble's page. He's got plenty of awesome content. He's got pre-recorded lives that have happened. He even has a great video of where he did a tossing session with Ed, and you should check it out because it's awesome. So on this particular throw, and it's going to be a 1-4-5, the blue die separated from the red die, and they flew. See if I can do this. I don't think I can do this. Hold on. They flew one in front of the other. Now I'm not going to be able to explain every reaction. I can only tell you what I see. Like right now, I felt my thumb push them. They separated. They hit way too early, like below the 12 in the field, and they wound up going right. It's going to be a hard 4, 2-2. We'll check the dice count in just a second. Again, that blue die hit the naked part of the wall, and ever so far, every time it's hit it, it's wound up being a 7. The 7 ought to be called a son of a bitch. So it ended up like a son of a bitch. Anyway, that was a 14 roller. Let's see if we can have another roll like that. We did hit some repeaters. We hit 1 point, I think. And we almost hit the tall. And there's a hard 8. There's a 4, 6, 10. Dice went all the way to the right. Not what we want. There's a 6-1, 7 out. So we didn't get a long roll, did we? We had a 7-1, son of a bitch. It's going to be a 5-1 mixer. 6 will be the point. And that is roll 68. So we have less than 40 to go. And I don't even know what the hell happened there. I don't even know what the hell happened there. All I know is that the dice, when they left my hand, hit the pass line, hit the chip rack, and went forward and dribbled. That was a horrible toss. Sometimes it's a mechanical problem, but sometimes it's just human error. You know, I'll get a twitch in my arm, finger, hand. There's another hard 8. I believe the last hard 8 was a point. That had little to no energy. It's going to be a 6-4-10. I think by the sound of it, the red die hit the naked wall. You know, last time 8 was the point, which was the last shooter, we followed it up with a 10. And I believe it was a 6-4. Are we drawn to the same fate? Let's find out. No, there's a double D-gen. Hard 6. And it is getting hot in this sweater. But we look distinguished, so we'll keep going. There's a 3-2-5, but the blue die went into the hook again. But it had no energy by the time it got to it, so it just stopped. There's a 3-1-4. And there's a 3-4-7 out. All right, that was roll 75. We got 25 to go. Six, 4, 10. You know you heard one of the die hit the naked wall. I don't know which one. 10's going to be the point. There's a, oh, that's a PSO. Well, ain't that a sumbitch? That's a 5-2 sumbitch. PSO. It's gonna happen. That's why you can't always go out there guns a-blazing. That was a weird one. It's gonna be a come out 7, but they hit, they separated, they came back, they separated. Come out 7. And my knuckles hit the table multiple times. And of course it's going to be another come out 7. Come on, OBC. As my father used to say, get your shit together, man. I don't know why that blue one went around the world, but we do know why. It hit the hook. Hit the hook and went. We need to aim right. This row, or this column of diamonds, is the line between the hook and the flat part of the wall. So we need to start making sure that that's part of our landing site. So we know our landing zone is going to be somewhere around the word field, in the field, but we can't lose sight of where we want them to go or where they want them to hit on the wall. So that one, I felt it on my ring fingers, which is on the blue die, and it pushed it forward and they split. 5, 4, 9. And where's the 4? So the roll tracker is behind a little bit. There's the 4. You should see the 9 momentarily. Sorry about the delay on the tracker. There's the 9. There's a 6-2 easy 8. So I'm going to try to look at this column first and then look at the landing zone. Because I looked at the landing zone on that one and then looked at the diamonds and I lost focus and they split. But I know it was more of a focus issue than a grip issue. That red die hit the naked part of the wall. Ricocheted back out to here. It's going to be a 2, 4, 6. Not a great roll at all. There's a double D-Gin, 3, 3 hard 6. Back-to-back 6s. Taking that 6 up to 90. There's a hard 8. That was more of the dice just stopped, happened to be close to one another. The red die never hit the wall. There's a 6-1, 7 out. It looked good. That's going to happen. That was a that would be considered a quality roll because it was 9 rolls. But we hit the 8 twice and we hit the 6 twice. There's a come out 7, 1, 6. Overall, not the best of results this evening, but I think we saw more dice roll together and hit the wall and come off. Jesus, there's another come out 7. 4, 3. We're hitting some past line winners. And if you're a world bet better, you should be increasing it every single 7. Except as a push. Because you never know when a horn's going to show up. But that's not a horn, that's a 4, 1, 3. So 4 is going to be the point. So they bounced back too far. It's going to be a buckshot though. 3, 1, 4. 268. 8 will be the point. Does anyone else feel that if ever you get a buckshot when you're betting the fire bet that you think you have a chance? Like, so you're saying there's a chance. There's another 4. 3-1. Big Joe, Craps Master Journey. The blue die hit my index finger pushed the blue die too much. We lucked out on that one. 628. Another point made. There's a 369. There's a 6-4-10. I'm going to take a sip of water here. There's a 6-5 yo. Mid-mo yo. I'm gonna have awesome calves after this. I've been on my toes every single roll. 6-2. There's the 9, 6-3. It's 3 points. Two, 6, 8. Oop, that was a 2. Eight's going to be the point, so our fire bet's going to have to pause for a moment. We need to hit the 8. Not going to happen. 3, 4, 7 out. And that is roll number 100. Oh well, apropos. Back-to-back quality rolls, though. We'll take that. All right. That was roll 100. Says we hit the sharpshooter bet 6-1. Our SRR was crap at 5.3. Our SOR was 7.1. All right, well, that was session 14. We've done 2 whole weeks of tossing every single day, not missing a day. It's very hard to do that and fit it into the schedule, but I'm doing it. with tonight's session, it wasn't fantastic. We had a lot of short rolls, but we had more rolls where they stuck together, and we had a good run in the beginning, more so in the beginning, I guess, of the dice hitting the wall and staying together. That's important. So it is what it is. We've now thrown over 1,400 rolls, and by the time the next show airs, we'll have gotten in over 2,000 rolls before the next show. So that'll be really interesting. That was the end. Tonight was the end of the toss closest to the rail. Tomorrow and for the next 3 nights, we will be tossing from stick left 1 as close to the stick person as they'll allow. So really that's going to be, so on my particular table, I've got the C and E on each side of the prop bets. So it's going to be around where the column of E's is on the layout, because I'm pretty sure if I'm at a casino, the stick person's not going to allow me to get anywhere close to the C and E. So that's where I'll be throwing from for the next 3 days. So that'll be interesting. We're going to have to adapt again, because it's going to shorten the distance by about 1.5 feet. So that's going to be totally different. But we'll give it a try. And then once we go through 3 nights of that, I'm going to go to probably the original position that we started at, because that was most comfortable to me. It wasn't too far out. It wasn't too close. It was just right in the middle, kind of like the Goldilocks toss. But we've learned a lot. We've learned a lot about where to land them. We've learned a lot about, if we're in a casino and people are stacking chips because they're on the end, you're going to have to account for that and know where you're throwing. So that's something that we're learning along the way. But thank you for all the support. Like and subscribe if you would. Leave a comment. That'd be great. I love it. Thank you. Thank you to Gargoyle, Ed, Jeff, and Chris, Sideshow Gamble. Appreciate y'all. And without further ado, I'll see you tomorrow.